evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the Florida Academy Cup Series presented by Viscera. I am your commentator tonight, Austin Householder, and I am joined up in the booth by my counterpart, and he's doing double duty tonight as race control, Hunter Geyer. Hunter, say hello to the fans.
How's it going, everyone? Glad to be back up in the booth.
All right, and we are glad to have you back, and it's a big race for you tonight. You're broadcasting, running race control, and you were the sponsor of the Byrd Raps 200 tonight here at Autoclub. Real quick, give everyone a rundown of what Byrd Raps is.
I'm sure anybody familiar with your stream, Austin, they know exactly what Byrd Raps is, but Byrd Raps is a paint company for iRacing. Been doing it for almost on a year now professionally. But Byrd Raps is happy to have it on board with Viscera and being a supporter. Being able to do a lot of their graphic work and broadcaster and now tonight race control. Have a lot on my plate because of these guys, but it's been great to just help them out as any way I can and. I've actually gained a couple customers from it, so there should be a good many Byrd Raps paints out there in the next coming weeks.
All right, and we are glad to have you on board as a sponsor, not just with the Florida Academy Cup Series, but with the channel as well. And you said anyone familiar with my stream, and I've got to shout out everyone for our last Viscera broadcast or Florida Academy Cup Series broadcast. We set a viewership record, actually a few of them, live viewers. I think we got over 60 at one point. And then on the channel after the fact, we had over 350-something views after the race. So big thank you to everyone. But it's time to focus down on track. Once again, we are coming to you live from Autoclub Speedway, a 2-mile oval located in Fontana, California, where these drivers will be competing for 200 laps in the Byrd Raps 200. The weather tonight, it is 77 degrees out, clear skies, and that sun is beating down on this racing surface. The track temperature sitting at 108 degrees, and that has got everyone concerned about their tires. Spoke to a few of the drivers tonight, and their pitch strategies are going to vary wildly. Once again, the tires are a concern for everyone, but they do get 6 sets of tires, but they will only have 60% fuel and no quick repairs to get this one done. And with that 60% fuel, the pit window looks to be about 28 laps for these guys. And we will have stage breaks at lap 30 and 60 tonight. So they're 2 laps shy on fuel for these first 2 stages if it does go green. Now, that is a big if. We've already seen a couple of big ones watching practice throughout the evening. So I think we're going to see a lot of varying pit strategies tonight. And we just did see someone getting into the wall. I was looking at my notes, did not catch that. We've already got the fans rolling in here. Laredo cheering on point for the win. Peter Delisle over on Facebook cheering for Corey Yoakum. And a couple of other ones over on YouTube. Mario cheering for Racing Jason. That nickname is definitely going to stick here. And we do have a couple of storylines here as well. So first things first, we do have a new addition to the broadcast here tonight. Trying to find the car here. Looks like she is on pit road for the time being, but we do have Madeline Jackson has joined the Gym Racing team in the number 88, and she's going to make her full-time debut tonight, and the only female driver in the field. And a little bit of backstory on her that we've gotten. This is her first ever iRacing League race. And at one point, she was atop the leaderboard with the fastest lap coming over from NASCAR 25. So we'll be excited to see how she does tonight. But we do have another update here. Chet Sellers has walked out on Bandit Motorsports, and owner Dalton Gregson is going to step up to drive the number 28, and it has made the headlines here tonight. We've got the magazine cover pulled up on screen. So Chet Sellers did not race 2 weeks ago at Daytona after saying he would for the Bandit Motorsports team, but he is going to be on track tonight, and he will be filling in for the TGR number 17 car while their full-time driver is out and looking for a full-time spot over there. But we are going to see Dalton Gregson climbing off of the pit box to take over that number 28, and we're going to get a quick interview with Dalton Gregson, the Barbasol Bandit. Dalton, it is Austin and Hunter up in the booth. You got me?
We've got you.
All right, man. So you're the talk of the town tonight. Hopping off the pit box to fill in that number 28 machine. Chet Sellers leaving Bandit Motorsports abruptly. Take us through your thoughts on what's going on there.
Yeah, man. I literally going through my day, getting paint schemes ready, trying to put some patriotic schemes on these cars, and I get a notification that Chet Sellers has left the server. And I'm like, man, no heads up, no nothing. As a owner of the team, I want to make sure I got all 4 cars on the track. We missed Daytona because he didn't make it. So I said, you know what? I'll drive the car myself. And then a day or two later, he comes back in the server and he's driving the 17 tonight, I believe. So.
All right, so definitely a little bit frustrating, having to hop off the pit box and climb back into the car. Is this the beginning of a rivalry?
I reckon we'll see. It's going to shake out who finishes in front of who. If I end up edging him out tonight, I mean, it's one of those scenarios where maybe I didn't need you in the first place. May just drive this thing all season, but.
Is that the plan to drive it all season?
I'll tell you, I've been hesitant to get back in the car. But with my son being born, it's a little difficult trying to find time to be able to focus and stay in the car. He starts screaming in the back and you got to get up and stuff. It kind of makes you leave early. But if it goes well here tonight, and I've been pretty happy with how I've been driving, so I'm thinking I might make a run for it. I feel like Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. I'll do it myself.
All right. Well, we'll be keeping an eye on you tonight. And you did message me earlier on in the week, giving me a little bit of lore on yourself. Even though you're a back marker, you said a lot of your friends tune in to Survive. And if I'm not mistaken, a lot of those friends are going to be at the Wicked Pub tonight watching.
For sure. Yeah, I've got a couple of friends. I actually teach HVAC, or I did previously. I'm back in the field now. I teach or taught HVAC at Florida Academy. A lot of my students that graduated are big NASCAR fans. We would catch beers at the pub after class and stuff. And once they found out, that this was going on, they were excited for it. Eric's a big NASCAR fan. His wife Destiny's a big NASCAR fan. So they're excited. They've actually got one of our first guy to drive the number 4 Corey Rainey in the Wicked Pub scheme. They've got a banner of him hanging up on their patio outside.
All right. Well, we are pretty excited about that we're getting the recognition from the Wicked Pub. So it looks like practice is coming to an end. You got to get back down for qualifying, though. So we'll go ahead and let you head back down to the car, man. Good luck tonight.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. And once again, that was Dalton Gregson, driver of the 28 Ford, making his debut here tonight. Practice is winding down here. Looks like we have just been given the checkered flag on practice, so qualifying getting ready to get underway. And Hunter, who do you have your eye on here tonight?
Well, I was looking through the rankings, I definitely got to at least give it to Seth LaCroix, running fast time in practice. He's definitely a person to watch out for, especially on these mile and a halves. I know Storm Struby, this is his home track. You know, he was the number one guy on the poster this week. So, you know, if you follow NASCAR, there's this whole thing going around that if you're on the poster, there's a good chance you might win. So, you might have to look out for him as well. You know, it's always pretty important to these drivers to kind of at least do well at their home track. So, he's definitely probably going to be bringing his A game tonight. So you never know. You know, this track is kind of interesting. Lots of different lines you can run. Tire wear really plays a factor into that as well. So you know, there's probably going to be a lot of different strategies going on. But yeah, you know, it's going to be an interesting one. I know, at least for me, you know, doing pulling double duty up here, but. Yeah, I'm just hoping these guys can keep it clean, make my job easy, and yeah, just have some fun racing. Absolutely. I do have to say, you know, having Greg step the booth, I did want to mention, you know, he's a painter himself, and he does have some pretty good looking paint schemes, including his own. So definitely have some competition out there for good looking paint schemes. But you know, as my schedule clears up, you know, I have a couple more drivers interested in burn wrap schemes, so I might have to give him a run for his money here in Vistra. Yeah, as a participate in that, this is going to be a fun track to run. I've only run it like once in my whole iRacing career, so it's going to be fun for sure. It's awesome. And so from what I can tell, it looks like a lot of the drivers were waiting to start their qualifying run because they're watching track temp. It looks like track temp has dropped a couple degrees as qualifying has gone on. So they're trying to get lower track temp and get more grip, and more than likely lay down a better qualifying time. I will say, this track, it will really warm up your tires. Like I mentioned, it is a multi-groove track. I know personally I prefer the top line, but that top line can really wear your tires down. But if you don't run the bottom line right, it's going to do the same. So it's going to be really interesting. You can really kind of run, a bunch of different lines and throw sliders on people almost. Drive it in deep into the corner and kind of block that outside lane coming up onto the straightaways. So it's going to be really interesting. This is going to be our first mile and a half, intermediate track. So it's going to be really interesting to see. We went to a short track in the preseason, now to a super speedway, and now where everyone's kind of niches for the most part. This is what these guys are really known for driving. So it's really going to be interesting to see who kind of does best out there tonight.
It will be interesting. We were talking to Dalton Gregson, the Barbasol Bandit, earlier tonight, and he said he had done a lot of practice on that top line and was surprised to find everyone running the bottom line here. So we'll see how that plays out as the race goes on.
It's definitely interesting in these next gen cars because when you run the top line, you don't really have to shift. I mean, you can downshift in the fourth gear to kind of get more rotation, but if you run the bottom line, you almost have to shift to get that good rotation out of the corner. And it's really easy to get the car loose coming out of the corner, trying to hold it down or let it wash up. It's really easy to get the car unsettled. So it's going to be really interesting to see. And, this is a really wide track, so it's a good chance of 4 or 5 wide racing. Hoping a lot of action, but hopefully these guys can keep it clean tonight so I don't have to dish out too many EOLs.
All right, and that's what we're hoping. It looks like most everyone has finished their qualifying run. Richard Smith still on track, though.
He's running out of time.
Yes, he is. Only about 7 seconds left here. I don't think he's going to get back to the line, so that means Al Likens going to be our Vermont Diecast a pole winner. He's going to take home that $5 award from Vermont Diecast. Once again, go check Vermont Diecast out on Whatnot.
Unless I'm mistaken, that's his second pole award in a row. He won pole at Daytona, so he's going to be racking up those discounts really fast.
Yes, he is, and looks like they are making their way down to pit road to climb in their cars. And we'll go through our official results here. Our official starting grid. Starting from the pole will be Al Likens in the number 20. Corey Rainey will be starting to his outside in second, driving the number 4 machine. In third place, we have Brian Macklin driving the number 30. Trevor Quisenberry will start fourth, driving the number 24. Seth LaCroix will be rolling off fifth in the 88. Dylan Picklesheimer in sixth, driving the number 23. Josh Edmonds will start seventh, driving the number 22 machine. Dawson Price in eighth, driving the number 71. In ninth will be Nicholas Warner, driving the number 7 machine. Trevor Yates will roll off 10th in the number 25 car. Tristan Haynes will start 11th, driving the number 9. To his outside will be the 12 of Daniel, in 12th will be the 21 of Daniel Holloway. I apologize for my dyslexia there. And starting 13th will be Chet Sellers, driving the number 17. Eric Rodeman will start 14th in the number 96 machine. Madeline Jackson making her debut iRacing debut tonight will start 15th in the 10 machine. Corey Yoakum will start 16th in the number 5. Jeremiah Nelson will roll off 17th, driving the number 46. 18th will be Tyler Green, driving the number 77. Dave Mayberry will be starting 19th, driving the number 29 machine. Dalton Gregson will start 20th in the 28 car. Tyler Hurt will be rolling off 21st in the 18 machine. Thomas Laverde starting to his outside in 22nd, driving the number 54. Storm Strube will roll off 23rd, driving the number 45. Mike Hill will start 24th, driving the number 27 machine. And in 25th, we have Alan Hess driving the number 14. To his outside in 26th will be Jason Warbeskis driving the number 63. Richard Smith will start 27th, driving the number 31 machine. Joshua Riddle will start 28th in the 12 car. Stephen Alesse rolling off 29th in the 8 machine. And rounding out your field in 30th will be Eric L'Oreal in the number 41. And please ignore the Hunter Geyer on screen. He is our acting race control, trying to get all that sorted out here as we get ready to take the green flag.
I don't know, that number 999 there, man. He might have a chance coming away from the back. He's good at that.
Yeah, till he hits pit road.
Oh, come on now. I've been pretty good at pit road.
Yeah, recently. I'll give it to you. You've been
I've gotten
putting the
better,
work in here.
Exactly. I've gotten a little bit better. Still not the best, but I try.
And that pace car is off. We're getting ready to get underway here, folks. Al Likens leading them down to the green flag. And the green flag is out. We are underway. 2 by 2, they go down the front stretch, down into turn 1. And you see the 4 of Corey Rainey. Got a little bit of a run. We're going to see if he can take the lead away. He's going to get the run off of turn 2. But Al Likens going to move up and shut the door on him. And the front of the field going to get it worked out single file here early on. We see Seth LaCroix battling it out with Brian Macklin there in the 30, LaCroix in the 1. Some close racing. I think they made contact a couple of times there, Hunter.
Absolutely. These guys are really running tight here in the first couple laps. But, just like I mentioned, it's kind of a mix-up of lanes. A lot of these guys are running the bottom lane, so it's going to be interesting to see what that does to their tires later on. But you also do see a couple stragglers running that high lane trying to get the run down the straights.
Yeah, and we'll see how it plays out as this race goes on and this track changes. LaCroix not able to make the moves he wanted. He is down a position, falling back to 6th. As Dylan Picklesheimer in that 23 Winnebago car getting by Seth LaCroix here, and you see the difference in lines. It looks like Dawson Price all the way up there against the wall. Looks like we know Dawson likes that high line from Era. We'll see if he can make it work here tonight. He battles his Era teammate there, Seth LaCroix, and LaCroix struggling here early on.
One thing I do know about Seth, though, is he really does know how to save his tires. So he might just be taking it easy right now, just kind of see what the tires do. And, who knows, maybe the longer run will really help out with that. So if he knows how to conserve, and it might really give him an advantage later in the race.
Yeah, and we'll see how that plays out. And we'll go check in with Chet Sellers after leaving Bandit Racing. Back here in 23rd, not getting the start he wanted. He's going to drop 10 positions from 13th to 23rd.
Although I will mention, they're the start of the race. Dalton Gregson, our rival driver in that scenario, he's dropped the whole way back to the end of the line, and showing quite a bit of positions down, riding way in the back of the pack.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a tire saving strategy or fuel saving strategy, hoping this goes green and maybe he can get the track position at the end, but definitely struggling, having to climb off the pit box here tonight and climb back into his car. We go back to the front of the field. Al Likens very dominant through the first portion of this race, already out to a half-second lead. He's making that clean air work for him. And they're bunched up 2 by 2 behind him. You see Dylan Picklesheimer running up the track there. And just some folks chiming in saying the Barbasol Bandit always has a plan. So maybe this race going according to plan for Dalton Gregson. And once again, guys, the pit window, 28 laps. Stage 1 is 30 laps long, and they've kept it clean thus far. So maybe some of these guys gonna be getting worried about their strategies as they get spread out here, because I know there was a couple guys counting on a caution in this first stage. So you see LaCroix there trying to get back up to the front. He has struggled at the beginning of this one. We'll see if he's got the tire saving strategy to get in the money at the end of stage 1. And Comey up on YouTube saying they still think it's crazy they unretired Dale Earnhardt's number. I do apologize if I don't get it to everyone's chat message in YouTube. You guys are going crazy. I'm looking at 35 live viewers right now and a whole lot of comments. So I really appreciate that, guys. I know Hunter really appreciates it too.
Absolutely. It's great to see the amount of support Vischer's brought on. Great to see a lot of fans out there, and I'm sure these drivers love it too, you know, knowing they have a lot of people cheering them on at home.
Yep, and not just at home, at the Wicked Pub in Fort Myers, Florida. If you were watching at the pub, go ahead and log in on your phones too. We'd love to hear from you guys. And, you know, when I was talking to Dalton earlier this week, he mentioned his friends tune in just to see if he's going to survive the race. So if you're at the Wicked Pub watching Dalton Gregson, go ahead and put your prediction on whether or not he survives in the chat for me.
Well, he is doing pretty well so far. He's kind of stayed out of the trouble, but the problem is he stayed out of the trouble and also has dropped back to scoring last place right now, as far as I'm aware. Maybe next to last place? Last place. he's struggling regardless. But you know, it's a long race. Anything could happen. Hopefully we can see him rattle his way up through the field, you know, as cautions happen, or, you know, it's going to be a stage break, so eventually you're going to be coming back up at the field. You just got to make sure you stay on the lead lap. So definitely interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yep, and a lot of Eric Rodeman fans in the chat here tonight. Eric Rodeman running that I believe that's the My World of Whiskey patriotic paint scheme with the Marines raising the flag on Iwo Jima. A very good looking paint scheme there for America's 250th birthday. Once again, My World of Whiskey, use promo code ERASE25 to receive a 25% discount on their website or in their App Store or Google Play Store.
I do have to make a comment on Eric Rodeman. So Byrd Wraps has something special coming out for him in Nashville. So definitely excited to see what I can come up with for that race.
All right, and we are excited too. And I think there's some people up there saying that Dalton's over here granny shifting, not double clutching like he should. Critical entering the chat, rooting for Dylan Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer been on the move here up to third. And then Mike cheering for Nicky in the number 7 car. Talk about Nicholas Warner currently running 19th. So it looks like most of the field has gotten it worked out single file. Look at Daniel Holloway and Jeremiah Nelson here. If I'm not mistaken, Daniel Holloway, I believe he is running that Relay for America paint scheme. You guys might have followed on Facebook or social media over the past couple weeks, running the American flag from coast to coast. Very cool. And Critical saying he caught the Fast and Furious reference there. And it looks like the battles are starting to heat up here. Corey Rainey there on that low line, down a couple of positions. Looks like that low line chewing up those tires for Corey Rainey here.
So you did mention, fuel stage is about 28 laps, but as race control, I actually closed the pits 2 laps before the stage ends. So right when these guys are running out of fuel, I'll be closing pits. So it's going to be interesting to see how early they take that fuel if they need it. And then almost speak of the devil, I'm getting notification from the driver chat that some drivers are pitting in.
Yep, and looks like Eric L'Oreal coming down pit road here. And he's going to get a black flag for speeding.
Oh no, he pulled off the Hunter Geyer strategy, unfortunately.
Yep. And Dylan Picklesheimer also going to come down pit road about halfway through this stage. And it looks like Al Likens going to the bottom of the track trying to break up the draft for Trevor Quisenberry. And Critical, it's actually going to be 6 sets of tires tonight. So 6 sets of tires to get through this one, and I think they're going to use just about every set here tonight, the way this track is eating up tires. So a couple of drivers already coming down pit road. Dylan Picklesheimer, he falls a lap down. So he pulls that Winnebago off of pit road and rejoins the pack, but he's going to have fresh tires. We're going to see what his times look like here. And looking at the times, we haven't even reached a full second of fall off on the lap times for the leaders. So it looks like they're doing a very good job of managing the tire wear here tonight. And Aiden saying the Barbasol Bandit making his comeback. Dalton Gregson now up to 28th. And Hunter, I've got to ask, in the drivers meeting, did you remind these drivers that pit road is going to close right at the end of their fuel run?
Tyler Green did, the drivers meeting did go as expected, so he did mention that, but hopefully these guys aren't caught off guard. But I'm also a rookie race controller here too, so I'm just hoping I can close it when I'm supposed to. The first time using my button box for race control things, so it's going to be kind of interesting.
All right, just don't drop the yellow flag, buddy.
I am keeping my hand away from that button as much as possible.
All right. Little reference to Michael Waltrip dropping, I think it was the green flag. He dropped it on track. Might have been the yellow flag.
Good thing about being virtual, I don't have to worry about anything like that. I just have to worry about hitting the wrong button at the wrong time.
Oh, we got trouble.
Oh, man.
That's Trevor Yates around, heavily damaged. That's going to bring out our first caution of the night. So we'll go back and take a look, see what happened here with Trevor Yates. Just taking it back a little bit further, you see Trevor Yates there on the high side. He's going to diamond the corner, getting that car all the way down to that low lane. And he just gets loose, sends that car up into the outside wall. And he's going to have to get towed back to the pits. That's going to end Trevor's night. And Comey's saying Yates going back behind the gates. Unlucky.
Hey, that one's tough, you know, just kind of a self-spin there. Real tough one. I did mention it, you know, earlier in the broadcast, you know, running that low line, it's very easy to get your car loose coming up the track, you know, diamonding that corner. And that seems like exactly what happened. And unfortunately, these next-gen cars, once they go, it's very hard to save them.
Yep, and looks like the entire field going to come down now and get fuel and tires. With the exception of that 23 of Dylan Picklesheimer. So Picklesheimer probably kicking himself with his pit strategy right now. He's going to have to start from the rear, but he will get a lap back. And developments on pit road, Thomas Lavierde. It looks like Thomas Lavierde missed his pit box, did not pit, and he comes back out in first. Al Likens wins the race off pit road. He'll restart second. Nicholas Warner in third. Seth LaCroix going to restart fourth. Jeremiah Nelson in fifth. Trevor Quisenberry in sixth. Tristan Haynes in seventh. Daniel Holloway will restart eighth. Dawson Price in ninth. And Corey Rainey rounding out your top 10. So we get ready to go back green flag racing. I do believe they'll be given the one to go signal this time by and Critical saying that crash looked like the Dale Jr. crash here in 2002. Critical, there was a little bit before my time before I really got into NASCAR, so I don't quite remember that one.
Yeah.
And they will double it up, and Thomas Lavierde going to bring them around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Once again, My World of Whiskey, the most comprehensive mobile app every serious bourbon collector should have on their phone. Founded by a collector who started by tracking his bottles on a spreadsheet, it grew into the most complete tool on the market for managing a real collection. Once again, use promo code RACE25 to receive a 25% discount on their website or on the app or Google Play Store. So they get ready to go back green flag racing. Critical saying I made him feel old. It's okay, Critical. I work at a college, so I feel like that on a daily basis. And Critical, Al Likens was our Vermont Diecast Pole Award winner tonight. But that pace car is off. Green flag is out. Thomas Lavierde making his way through the My World of Whiskey restart zone, and Lavierde going to get the jump. He definitely had that advantage being able to control that restart. But Al Likens here on 4 fresh tires We'll see how long it takes Likens to catch back up to him. And here comes Seth LaCroix moving up to third now.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping my software is working correctly, but it's looking like Verde did not take tires and has not yet pit this race. So definitely want a different strategy. Hopefully he has enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage.
Yeah, and with those yellow flag laps, I think that's going to really bring the pit window or the fuel window closer to being able to make it to the end of the stage. So, but the question is, can he hold off these guys on newer tires? And critical, yes, that was Al Likens' second Vermont Diecast Pole Award. So going 2 for 2, Al Likens shaping up to be a one to watch as the season goes on. Likens getting by Laverde. Seth LaCroix now trying to go to work on that 54 machine. And we're down to only 6 left to go in the stage. Oh, it looks like Dave Mayberry's had an issue, and yes, the yellow flag is going to wave. That's going to bring out the caution here. Al Likens now your leader. Thomas Laverde dropping to second. Seth LaCroix back up to third. We'll go see what happened here with Dave Mayberry. Mayberry working his way to the outside of Dylan Picklesheimer. Oh, and it looks like it was actually the 45 machine of Storm Strube getting out of shape here in that T-Mobile car. I'll go back and watch it from Storm Strube's point of view. And we're 4 wide racing. Storm Strube just washing up the track and getting into that outside wall. Dave Mayberry taking the worst of it. I do believe that is 2 weeks in a row that T-Mobile car involved in an incident. Looks like he is heavily damaged. Going to have to come down pit road and get that car taken care of.
Yeah, looking back at that replay, it looks like just got tight into that corner, and unfortunately took a couple cars with him.
Yep, it's unfortunate for those drivers, but that's really going to shake up the pit strategy here. Everyone come down here on lap 27 now, and it looks like we're going to get that Enchanted Oaks stage white flag here. I believe it right when they go green or just 1 lap after. Once again, Enchanted Oaks, if you're looking for the perfect place to park and relax on the Texas coast, make them your next stop. Conveniently located on Highway 35 bypass in beautiful Rockport, Texas. Just a short drive from beaches, art museum, shopping, and some of the best coastal attractions that area has to offer. Mention this broadcast, Rebel Racing Network, or Mike Hill to receive a free gift upon check-in. And Critical saying he bets that no one in the top 15 is going to pit. Everyone going for stage points. And Critical, you are right to assume that. Looks like everyone in the top 15 has stayed out. Actually, correction. Looks like the top 25 there are going to stay out. And Daniel Brannon entering the chat as well. They are doubled up, getting ready to go back racing, though, folks.
As these guys kind of bunch up, you know, since the stage is not over, they still have, you know, 2 laps to go, technically. We got a lot of aggressive driving, more than likely, so definitely going to see a lot of different moves going on.
Yep, and it looks like Al Likens, he's just got to take care of his tires, not spin them on this restart. He's sitting in a pretty good position to take away another stage win on top of that Vermont Diecast Pole Award. Al looking strong here at the beginning as that pace car getting ready to dive off as they come off of turn 4. Stephanie Hill entering the chat, rooting for Mike Hill. As they get to the My World of Whiskey restart zone, green flag waves. Al Likens, he doesn't get a really good launch there. Enough to get single file, but here comes Seth LaCroix in that one car. LaCroix now going to clear Laverde. Laverde, a sitting duck there on those old tires. Trevor Quisenberry looking for a way around him as well. Now down to 1 to go. The Enchanted Oaks RV Park, a white flag for the stage is out. Al Likens, your leader. Here comes Trevor Quisenberry looking underneath of Seth LaCroix, and he's pushing that car as hard as it will go. Not quite enough to clear LaCroix there. We'll see what happens through turns 3 and 4. Quisenberry going to hop behind Seth LaCroix. And try it again.
Al Likens, your stage winner.
Yep, Al Likens going to win the stage. Seth LaCroix in second. Thomas Laverde in third. Laverde hanging on as the TriStar Property Maintenance stage comes to an end. Al Likens, your TriStar Property Maintenance stage winner. Al looking very dominant here. And here comes James Price and Lee LaCroix cheering on their sons, Seth and Dawson Price, here tonight. And Critical saying not bad for the 54, managing to get those stage points. And I think he played that very well, taking that track position.
Absolutely. Now he's going to be able to flip this stage, come down and get some good tires. And we'll be on some freshies.
Yep, and he's going to have an extra set in his back pocket for the end of this one. But real quick, we got to go ahead and pay some bills here. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break.
Every race car starts the same. Just a shell, waiting for identity. Because every car can race, but not every car gets remembered. Custom. Bold. Built to stand out. Byrd wraps. Don't just race, be remembered.
All right, and we are back, folks, just in time for pit stops. Al Likens leading them down pit road. And some interesting strategies here. Seth LaCroix staying out, as well as Dylan Picklesheimer, Jeremiah Nelson, and Dave Mayberry. Mayberry, if I'm not mistaken, he was caught up in that first incident. Or the first incident for Dave Mayberry. So Mayberry able to continue here.
Looks like some different tire strategies going on. It looks like only 2 tires for a couple drivers.
Yeah, Brian Macklin, Josh Edmonds, Corey Rainey, all going to take 2 tires. That's going to put Al Likens back here in 11th when he comes off a pit road. So your TriStar Property Maintenance stage winner, Al Likens, going to have a tall order to fill to get back up to the front. Seth LaCroix on 10-lap old tires will lead them back to the green flag, and we're going to we got to take a look back. It looks like we did have an issue coming to the stage break here. Looks like Joshua Riddle having an issue going off track, and he caught Stephen Alessi and Jason Werbesquez up. I'm not sure what happened there with Josh Riddle. So a couple cars caught up there. So we get ready to go back. Green flag racing, critical cheering on Dylan Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer trying to recover from his pit strategy early on in this one. He's not going to take tires after pitting on lap 26. He's now back up to second. So way to bounce back for Dylan Picklesheimer. So the next stage will end lap 60. So they're going to be a little bit of an advantage on the pit window here. They should be able to make it to the end on this end of this stage if they pitted under this caution. So Seth LaCroix and Dylan Picklesheimer, this pit strategy may come back to bite them here, staying out during the stage break.
It is good to see the different strategies going on there. You know, you're really not seeing everyone doing the same thing. So it's kind of interesting to see, what pays out in the long run.
Yep, and Seth LaCroix leading him down to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag is out. And now 5 laps in, they will be good to go on fuel if they did pit. So Seth LaCroix, Dylan Picklesheimer might be in trouble. It's Jeremiah Nelson trying to put the pressure on him. But here comes Brian Macklin, the first car with new tires here, even though it's only right sides, making his way up to third. And Picklesheimer putting the pressure on Seth LaCroix up front. Oh, trouble back in the pack.
Out.
And it looks like Mike Hill involved in this.
Oh, looks like some issues ahead of him, actually.
Yep, I see the smoke there. If I'm not mistaken, that was the 7 of Nicholas Warner getting into someone. We're going to go back, take another look at it here. Nicholas Warner washing up the track and getting into the 9 of Tristan Haynes.
I don't know, from a race controller's perspective, it looks like, unfortunately, Tristan Haynes actually came down a lane. If you're going off the race lines, or the lane lines there, it looks like the number 9 actually crossed down into the bottom of the track, unfortunately. So it's kind of Warner coming up, Haynes coming down situation there.
Yeah, Tristan Haynes, he was running that top line, wanted the low line, and I don't know if Warner ever knew he was out there.
Unfortunately, I think as race control, I might have to give the fault to the number 9 to Tristan Haynes.
Yep, and we'll go ahead and ride along with Nicholas Warner and see what he was seeing here. And you can clearly see Tristan Haynes coming down there. And it looks like Warner not really getting much room. He really, when you look at it from Warner's point of view, he really didn't slide up all that far. He was just not given a lot of room from Tristan Haynes. So, and it looks like no takers on pit road. Oh, correction. Looks like Seth LaCroix did come down pit road. He's going to have to start all the way back in 24th. So Dylan Picklesheimer now your leader. Brian Macklin in second. Jeremiah Nelson in third. Dave Mayberry restarts fourth. Corey Rainey in fifth. Tyler Hurt will restart sixth. Daniel Holloway in seventh. Al Likens in eighth. Tyler A. Green will restart ninth. And Trevor Quisenberry going to round out your top 10. And just before this restart, we'll step aside for a quick commercial break.
At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting-edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. FedUp, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated packages. Batteries not included. Actually, nothing's included.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are doubled up, getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. The lights on the pace car are out. Once again, Dylan Picklesheimer will lead them to the green flag. Brian Macklin to his outside. So this is going to play into Dylan Picklesheimer's hands. He last pitted lap 26. Looks like he was going to be short on fuel. If these cautions start racking up, that's going to allow him to save fuel, and maybe that track position really going to help him when we come to the end of this stage. That pace car is off. And Dylan Picklesheimer makes his way through the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag is back out. 9 laps gone in stage 2. Picklesheimer jumping out to the lead here. And Jeremiah Nelson also last pitted lap 26. Brian Macklin back there in third, though. Pitted lap 32. A few lap fresher tires. And FP saying the 23 is a good looking ride. So FP a fan of that Winnebago paint scheme. As Dylan Picklesheimer opening up that gap. Corey Rainey trying to get to the inside of Brian Macklin. And Critical Picklesheimer was strong last weekend at Daytona. Oh, someone's out of line back in the pack. So they go down the back stretch. They're able to keep it straight, though. No caution. Here it comes. And I did see someone getting sideways. Not quite sure who that was.
Tell you what, driver chat is going crazy right now. A lot of these guys are talking to each other about what's going on.
Now, are the tempers flaring up there, or everyone keeping a cool head right now?
More giggling and laughing more than anything. So I think these guys are just kind of having fun with it. No tempers so far. It's just been a lot of fun.
All right, well, we'll have to keep an eye on it as this one goes on. But I'd like to bring everyone's attention to Al Likens in that 20 car, the Vermont diecast pole winner. He's made his way back up to 5th after taking 4 tires on that last stop. And we'll check in with Madeline Jackson in that 10 machine. Sponsor list, once again making her iRacing League debut here tonight. Coming over from NASCAR 25, and our one and only female driver in the field tonight. She's currently sitting in 24th.
I have to say, yeah, 24th is back in the pack, but this being your first ever league race ever, as long as you're staying on the track, not getting caught up in too many incidents, that's a win in my book. League racing is so much more different than official sessions. It's really tough. The competition always seems to be higher in league racing. I know I've personally fallen in love with league racing. I don't race many officials anymore just because league racing just brings so much more to your plate as a driver. So definitely cool to see her out here.
Oh, yeah, and I'll tell you what, coming over from NASCAR 25, yes, it's made by iRacing, but 2 very completely different games here.
Totally different.
This is a sim. I tell you what, hopefully iRacing doesn't shut down the broadcast. I checked out NASCAR 25, and after coming from iRacing, it was just not for me. Everything handled so differently.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so definitely a learning curve, but doing very well keeping that car straight and staying out of the trouble here by Madeline Jackson.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, absolutely. I also when NASCAR 25 came out, I gave it a try. Hooked up my racing wheel to my PlayStation 5 and was like, this is going to be just like an arcade. I can do a career mode, just be just as fine. Just fine. It's going to have a lot of fun, and I could not do it. The game to me actually felt better on a controller than it did a sim wheel. So, definitely not for me, but for those that are able to enjoy it, props to them.
Yeah, I tell you what, gaming since NASCAR Heat way back in the day, in the early 2000s, waiting for good NASCAR games to come out. Seems like the last decade and a half, heck, maybe 20 years, I was excited hoping to get back on the Xbox and maybe show those Xbox guys in the same boat as me before I bought the PC a thing or two, thinking, oh yeah, I know these tracks. I'll definitely be fast. Definitely hurt the ego a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, I basically grew up the same way. Growing up, my favorite NASCAR game, I'm not too sure if you know it, I'm sure a lot of people do, is Dirt to Daytona. That was my favorite NASCAR game, made by the same people that made NASCAR Heat, but being able to come up through the ranks of, racing a dirt car to, your modified to trucks and then Cup Series, man, I have so many fond memories of that game, and I think that's honestly things like that is what made me fall in love with iRacing.
Yeah, I think that's the case for a lot of these drivers out here. Dirt to Daytona held in high regard. I think my favorite one, though, had to be NASCAR Thunder 2004. The soundtrack was amazing, and then just being able to build a race shop. It sounds
absolutely.
Like we're, I think we need EA to go ahead and partner up with iRacing and, create what could be the best console racing game seen in the last 20 years.
I don't know, man. EA... I'll keep my personal opinions myself, but man, I feel like they've taken control of the F1 franchise, and I don't know. The F1 franchise has been a lot of fun. That's kind of as close as you're going to get to a simulator on console, and I mean, still a good game, but I don't know. I think iRacing definitely is kind of on the right track, bringing their games to console. I mean, as long as their main focus is going to be the iRacing service. I mean, it can kind of translate a little bit. I mean, but obviously there is going to be 2 big differences between a simulator like iRacing and a simucade NASCAR game. So it's kind of tough. You kind of have to bridge that gap between, you know, the iRacing simulator where you basically have to have a wheel and pedal set to even be competitive. Now it can be played on a controller, but wheel and pedal set's the way to go. But while you have NASCAR 25, which is, you know, built first and foremost for controller use, so obviously there's going to be a loss of translation there. But honestly, you know, depends on what you're into, but both solid platforms for sure.
Yes, there is. And checking back in with Trevor Quisenberry, Daniel Holloway battling it out here for 7th. Holloway in that 21 Wicked Pub machine. Trying to move up here. And Corey Rainey also representing the Wicked Pub. He's now back up to 4th here. And looking at the leaders, Hunter, you know, Dylan Picklesheimer, Jeremiah Nelson, they, you know, 6 laps difference, most of it under caution, but they're holding their own very well with these drivers on the fresh
Absolutely,
tires.
You know, everyone's kind of spreading out at this point. Really solid racing going on. Good to see the big mix-up in the field as well. You know, our pole sitter back in 5th. Definitely still have my eye out on him though, because, you know, as we've seen in Daytona, you know, he had an issue halfway through the race and was able to come back and win it. Now, obviously, Autoclub and Daytona are 2 very different racetracks, but I think he still has a chance in this one for sure.
Oh yeah, the real question though is going to be how's this dirty air going to affect him when he does get back up to the leader, Dylan Picklesheimer. We've watched it week in, week out over an era, how important clean air is to these Cup cars. And Picklesheimer, he had his struggles at Daytona, but very competitive through the first half of the race over there. He's got a lot of skill. I think he's going to be tough to pass when you can get to him.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, going back on the way the air works its magic on these cars, you know, clean air is key for sure. So if you're in clean air, you're going to have the best handling car. You don't have to worry about getting kind of stuck behind a car, and you can get really tight exiting corner if you're in the draft of another car, especially at a track like this. So I know myself, you know, I find it very difficult to handle, but you know, some people know a lot more than I do. So we'll see what we can do. You know, these top 3, top 5 cars, see coming up through traffic.
Yep, and the top of this pack, lined up single file. We still have some close racing back in the pack.
So it looks like Jeremiah Nelson trying to peek under our leader, Dylan Picklesheimer, but not able to get that run.
Yeah, and the way the air affects that car, when he steps out, is definitely going to have a negative effect there. And FP...
Definitely for sure.
Yeah. Real quick, FP asking, is the Wicked Pub the ones that were going to buy around for the entire bar last week? And yes, they were. I believe that was if Corey Rainey were to win a stage. So Rainey's sitting back here in the top 5. I think they got to throw Daniel Holloway in there as well. These two getting ready to link up as they try and get by that Vermont Diecast 18 of Tyler Hurt.
Hearing radio chat, it looks like we are having a couple people pitting. With only a couple laps left in the stage, definitely interesting strategy for sure.
Yep, and that pit road is going to close here in about 4 laps. James Price, going back to our Dirt to Daytona and NASCAR Heat and Thunder conversation. Imagine sim racing on a split screen.
Oh, the good old days.
I could barely drive when I'm focusing on just my screen.
I tell you what, though, I think we were kind of used to it when we were kids. I mean, I remember racing split screen with my brother all the time. Now, I would never give my younger brother any
oh, we've got trouble.
Any help, but oh man. Looks like, oh no.
I'm trying to figure out who it was. I believe that's Corey Rainey in trouble here. So Corey Rainey's slow in that Wicked Pub machine. We'll go back, take a look, and see what happened here.
I can almost hear the groans from Wicked Pub right now.
Oh, I think someone actually got loose in front of him, and he checked up. We're going to go watch that from his point of view. I saw tire smoke in front of him. Yeah, the 21 of Daniel Holloway got loose in front of him. Corey Rainey had to check up, and the guy behind Corey Rainey just had no idea. So this is going to change things up. I think everyone's going to have to come down pit road now. Yeah, that was the 54. Getting into the back of Corey Rainey. Thomas Lavierde just had nowhere to go there. So it looks like Brian Macklin came down pit road. Dylan Picklesheimer, though, staying out. Jeremiah Nelson staying out. Al Lyken's going to stay out as well. So a lot of drivers staying out, taking the track position, hunting for that stage win. And we'll step aside for a quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back, folks. Big thank you to Ride Waits for being a sponsor of the channel. We're trying to get them to come on board for the league as well. But if you enjoy going to theme parks down there in Florida, you need that app on your Apple smartwatch. Make the most of your time there and avoid the long wait times. Big shout out to Marcus de la Garza for creating that app. You guys have seen him over there in TCR. And Hunter, I believe he's got a new league coming here in a couple weeks. All right, and it sounds like Hunter is doing his race control duties right now as we get ready to go back green flag racing. They are doubled up. Lights on the pace car are out. Dylan Picklesheimer will lead them down to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Once again, My World of Whiskey, use promo code RACE25 to receive 25% off on their website or in the App Store or Google Play Store.
All right, sorry about that. Doing this double duty thing, it's tough. Lots of going on there.
I understand, buddy. But the pace car's off, and they are through the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag's back out. Dylan Picklesheimer leading the race with 2 to go. And Critical asking us who the favorite is to win. Hunter, who's your favorite here tonight?
I don't know. I think my money's still on Al Likens, man. He has shown his resilience. He's back up in second, trying to get another stage win.
Oh, we've got trouble.
Oh, no.
Brian Macklin caught up in this. I bet he's kicking himself now for going down pit road. That's going to bring out the caution flag. Everyone bunched up. It looks like they got 4 wide at one point, and just too many cars, not enough lanes. So Brian Macklin, Jason Werbeska is caught up in that.
Corey Rainey also caught up in that one. Man, more groans from the Wicked Pub.
Yep. I'm sorry, guys, at the Wicked Pub. No free rounds for you guys tonight, it looks like. And real quick, Madeline Jackson, I want to go back and ride along with her through that. Saw her right there when that wreck happened. And Madeline Jackson splitting the seas there. Driving right through it like a seasoned professional. Excellent job by her. And now pit stops have started here. And yeah, with all the excitement there, we almost forgot to mention that is the end of the stage. Dylan Picklesheimer going to be your TriStar Property Maintenance Stage winner for Stage 2. She's going to bring it down pit road. A couple drivers staying out. Corey Yoakum going to go to the lead. Josh Edmonds will stay out. Mike Hill, Tristan Haynes, Storm Strube, and that T-Mobile 45. Strube involved in an earlier incident. Looks like he's gotten that car repaired and back in it. Stephen Alessi will restart 6th. Thomas Lavierde in 7th. Chet Sellers in 8th. Al Likens in 9th. Jeremiah Nelson in 4th, or 10th. And Mito Kush saying Dalton at 22 is a win in their book. So everyone, we talked about, was Dalton going to survive? He's doing very well here, but I know he wants to get out in front of that 17 of Chet Sellers. Some bad blood after Chet Sellers up and quit on Bandit Racing. James Price saying, mentioning Dawson Price was lurking in the top 10. He is just outside of the top 10 now in 13th. So Hunter still thinks it is going to be Al Likens going to take home the win here. And I don't know. Dylan Picklesheimer showing a lot of strength. I think I'm going to have to change my pick to Dylan Picklesheimer in that 23 Winnebago.
I think he was your favorite for the clash as well, if I remember correctly.
I think he was. Honestly, it might just be I like saying his name.
I think that name, though, that was memed pretty well during a mispronunciation there to Daytona race. Not too sure if you kept up with the Discord, but I had myself a laugh with that one.
I'll be honest, I have not kept up with that Discord, but they are doubled up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. And Mike Hill, he was involved in an earlier incident. He's back up to 3rd now in that Enchanted Oaks Ford Mustang. Once again, mention this broadcast, Mike Hill or Rebel Racing Network at Enchanted Oaks RV Park, and receive a free gift when checking in on your next visit to Texas, guys. And Hunter, I haven't had a chance to talk to Mike Hill. Do you have any idea what that free gift might be?
I have absolutely no idea.
I've got to ask. I've got to ask Mike next time I talk to him.
Absolutely, I know. Mike. He's he streams and does YouTube a lot, so maybe he has some merchandise over there. But definitely interested to know what they're giving out there.
I am as well, but that pace car's off, and they are in the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag's back out. Corey Yoakum leading the pack. Stage 3 now underway. No more stage breaks. 38 to go. And Corey Yoakum jumping out to the lead there. Mike Hill moving up to 2nd. Storm Strube also on the move here as well. Now up to 7th in that T-Mobile machine. And look out, because here comes Dylan Picklesheimer in that 23 machine. Making some moves. Al Likens also making moves here. He's back up to 5th. Oh, trouble.
Oh, trouble.
Jinx, you owe me a beer. It looks like Dawson Price, Madeline Jackson, and Alan Hess caught up in this. We'll go back, see what happened here. And that is the big one right there.
Looks like a lot of cars got up into this one.
We'll go ahead and take a look at Alan Hess. I think he was after the fact as well. I think Dylan Picklesheimer caught up in it as well. We'll go back, take a look with him. So we try and figure out where this all started. And Critical saying it looks like a hornet's nest in the middle of the pack. And so Thomas LaFierde might have been the start of that. We'll go back one more step back, and the struggles of not having a full broadcasting team trying to figure out where this all started.
Yeah, as race control looks like is the number 54 at fault for that one.
Yep, coming up the track. Coming up the track, getting into that 3 car. I tell you what, we did see Madeline Jackson coming into it after the fact, but she did a good job of getting that car slowed down. Right along with her here.
Unfortunately, a lot of good, decent drivers caught up into that one. Dawson Price, you know, he's definitely one of my favorites. Raced with him a lot, but looks like he kind of had nowhere to go.
Yeah, unfortunate for Dawson Price, and a lot of hurt cars out here now.
Damage.
Critical saying nowhere to go for some of those drivers. And while all that was going on back in the pack, Mike Hill taking over the lead position in that 27 Enchanted Oaks RV Park Ford Mustang. We do see, looks like about 9 drivers on pit road right now getting their cars serviced. 3 of them being shown the meatball flag, and it looks like their nights are going to be over. So that's going to shake it up here. Looks like my pick might be out of it here. They're going to fall a lap down. Al Likens back up to 3rd. So the standings now, Mike Hill in 1st, Corey Yoakum in 2nd, Tristan Haynes, or Al Likens in 3rd, Tristan Haynes in 4th, Tyler Hurt 5th, Storm Strube in 6th, Dave Mayberry in 7th, Richard Smith in 8th, Eric Rodeman in 9th, and Trevor Quisenberry rounding out your top 10 as we get ready to go back to racing here.
Gotta say, really impressed with Mike Hill doing. You know, he's been doing a great job in this league. You know, that top at podium finish at Daytona, and now leading laps here in Auto Club. You know, he has definitely been practicing more and more. So he also has a spotter in his ear, so I'm sure that's helping as well. But really proud to see my former teammate up in the front.
Yes, and and definitely a lot of improvement out of that 27 machine, and having the spotter in the ear definitely going to make a difference. You know, not having to deal with the generic iRacing spotter that honestly doesn't give you very much information.
Definitely not. I mean, about as basic as it can get.
And the green flag is out as they come around the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Mike Hill jumping out to the lead here. Now down to 33 to go in this one. And here comes Al Likens on the outside of Mike Hill. Al looking very fast. Not quite clear of Mike Hill yet. It looks like he's going to get him this next time by, although Mike Hill driving it in hard on the bottom there. And Al Likens going
to be able to get that run.
Yep, off the top side. Mike Hill got to try the top side now. And that pit window is going to be open here in the next 4 laps for these guys. I think this is where we're going to start to see some varying pit strategy. And look out, because here comes that 9 of Tristan Haynes. He is back up to 4th. He was involved in an incident earlier on. And now getting back into this one.
Absolutely. Tristan Haynes had to get an EOL there, that incident earlier in the race, but he's made himself back up here, running 4th. Close in on that podium's position.
Yep, and Critical saying Likens is looking strong. It's his race to lose. And talking about a target on Al Likens' back. And James Price saying Seth is looking strong as well. Seth has been hanging around in the top 10 here, about middle of the top 10. But we've seen this before out of Seth LaCroix. He is very good at saving those tires.
Absolutely. Speaking of Al Likens, though, he has just set the fastest lap, the Byrd Rap's fastest lap, and he has that fastest lap by more than 2/10 at this point. So he is definitely putting the pedal to the metal, and not too sure what he's doing to his tires, running those lap times, but man, he is super fast out there.
Yep, really fast, and we do have a request from Stephanie Hill wanting to see that Byrd Rap's paint scheme on the 27, the Enchanted Oaks RV Park, one more time. And Stephanie, if Mike keeps it up, we might be seeing it at the end of the race as well. But talking about the fastest lap, just a quick look at the weather here. That temperature has really dropped as that sun has gone down. Now down to 68 degrees. Not sure what the track temperature is, but it is definitely cooling off for these drivers. We're going to start to see some faster laps as this one goes on. And look here at the 45 of Storm Strube and that T-Mobile car. Strube had his struggles at the beginning of this one, but is back up in the top 10. So Al Likens pulling away from Mike Hill, 0.6 of a second lead over him, and now down to 27 to go. That pit window is officially open.
Well, Mike Hill just ran a 3/10 faster lap time than Al Likens, though, so he's staying in it.
Yeah, showing some speed. Now, if I'm Mike Hill sitting in this position, knowing that pit window is open, I'm going to try and get on pit road ahead of Al Likens. we know that everyone does have to pit one more time for fuel. We have seen a hornet's nest these last couple restarts, and more issues coming from the restarts, but everyone getting spread out for the time being, it looks like. So the likelihood of a caution coming out is dropping here, and could possibly see some green flag pit stops.
Absolutely. Speaking of pit stops, monitoring the driver's chat, there are going to be some drivers coming down this time.
And I don't know if I agree with that. It might be a little bit too early. We said the likelihood of a caution has drastically dropped as these guys have got spread out, but it is definitely not zero. Storm Strube coming down pit road here. And he will have the fresher
like
tires.
Number 27. Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the number 27 on Mike Hill, unfortunately dropping back, it looks like. Actually lost 2 positions to Corey Oakham and Tristan Haynes, and now Trevor Quisenberry are battling it out with Mike Hill.
Yep, Hill stuck on that outside line, and he was laying down fast laps, and I think he might have pushed that car just a little bit too hard on the tires for where we were at in the race. But he could definitely...
I definitely agree.
Yep, he could definitely get back into it coming down pit road a little bit early here. Getting the fresh tires. And looking at the last lap time by Al Likens, he has fallen off a second in time, so the attrition's setting in here. And keep an eye on Trevor Quisenberry here. He is all over that back bumper of Tristan Haynes right now. And James Likens is actually opening up the gap here over Corey Yoakum. Out to over a second now. Corey Yoakum did have a faster last time, though, the last time by. I think Likens is in tire saving mode right now, trying to keep that car fast.
Absolutely. Corey Yoakum running a 3/10 faster lap time that last lap.
And Yoakum leading the pack, trying to catch up to Al Likens out there all by himself, as Likens just putting that 21 of Daniel Holloway a lap down. Oh, caution is out. It looks like it was for Dylan Picklesheimer. So Picklesheimer going off track here. You see him getting loose there, going through turns 1 and 2. He gets that Winnebago car turned all the way around. And that will bring out our 8th caution of the night. So that's going to take away all the varying pit strategies, I think, Hunter. Everyone going to come down pit road now that we're in that fuel window.
Looks like more trouble for Dylan Picklesheimer under the caution lap. He is struggling with the handling of that car.
Yep, but we just saw him go around again. Go back, take a look, see what happened. Once again, involved in that issue. I think he might have a wheel issue. The toe messed up on that car. As everyone else coming down pit road, and Critical said this just got interesting. Now the question is, do you take 2 or 4 tires here? James Price are reading my mind saying, does Seth take 2? All right, so Al Likens looks like he's going to take 2 tires back out.
Looks like 2 might be the move here.
All right, and it looks like Corey Yoakum, the first car to take 4 tires. So keep your eye on this 5 of Corey Yoakum. Still a lot of time left in this one. As they get reset, we're going to step aside for another quick commercial break.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn 1. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are doubled up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. The wave around cars just passing the pace car. Corey Yoakum, your leader. Tyler Hurt in second. Mike Hill going to restart third. Corey Yoakum will restart fourth. Trevor Quisenberry going to restart fifth. Dave Mayberry in sixth. Nicholas Warner will restart seventh. Tristan Haynes in eighth. Corey Rainey will restart ninth. And Eric Rodeman rounding out your top 10.
So, Austin, has your pick changed? I know you were saying Picklesheimer, but unfortunately his luck has turned around on him. So, is there anybody else you wanted to curse?
When you put it like that, I don't want to mention a name now. But I've got to keep my eye on that 5 of Corey Yoakum. He is the first car on 4 tires. He's got a teammate right behind him to help him out as well. I think Corey Yoakum, once the attrition sets in and those left sides really start to go away for Tyler Hurt, now Likens, Corey Yoakum has a chance to get out here and take the lead as they come around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. The green flag is out. We are back underway. Al Likens jumping out to an early lead. Running the middle line. Mike Hill with a good restart there. Staying out in front of Corey Yoakum, and he's going to put the pressure on Tyler Hurt. Mike Hill back to second. Oh, and it looks like Richard Smith has had an issue back in the pack here.
And Mike Hill back in the hunt.
Yep, we're going to step aside and try and see what happened here with Richard Smith. We see him going off track, and he's off the pace. Or correction, catch it back up to the pack and the replay. And it looked like some games being played with Richard Smith on that restart from the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Not sure what that was about.
Hearing from driver's chat, I actually think it might have been a race control issue. iRacing was telling both drivers 2 different things. So definitely just kind of a miscommunication there from what I can tell.
And unfortunate for those drivers. I guess, Hunter, you got to get better at your job, buddy. I mean, your other job.
I'm still learning, man. You know, it took me 2 broadcasts to kind of somewhat get down the broadcasting thing. So it might take me a couple races to get down race control as well.
And understandable. I'm still learning on the broadcasting thing, but yeah, I am glad to have you here, man. You make it so much easier.
I try my best, you know.
I still want to convince Ryan Mack to hop up in the booth with us. You know, that's a shout out and a challenge to you, Ryan, if you're watching.
Absolutely. Ryan's a great buddy. I tell you what, he has a broadcasting voice if I've ever heard one. He definitely would be a great broadcaster.
Yes, he would, but we are down to 15 to go. Al Lycan already out to a second lead over Mike Hill. Mike Hill holding off Corey Yoakum. And a Hornet's Nest back there in the top 10.
Al Likens, I think, just looking in his rearview mirror, just hoping these guys are going to continue battling out. Man, that clean air is just helping him pull away from the rest of the pack.
Yep, and you see those teammates there trying to work together, get a little bit of a draft going to try and put the pressure on Mike Hill. Corey Yoakum hopping out of line, trying to go underneath, but Hill is right there to put a stop to it. Now Yoakum getting the run. Yoakum going to go to second. And here comes the 18 of Tyler Hurt as well. Quisenberry going to throw a nasty block on Tyler Hurt. Now Mike Hill falling back all the way back to 7th, and he just got routed there. Now down to 13 to go, and the teammates battling it out for that second place position right now. That's going to hold up Tyler Hurt in that 18 machine. And I would like to point out that 10 of Madeline Jackson now up to 14th in her debut here tonight. Very solid running position for her. And Critical throwing up the question, if a caution comes out and you're toward the front, do you take tires or maintain your position? And Critical, I think the way that last caution fell, if you were up front, you have got to maintain your position. We saw it earlier here where the cars that did not pit and had the track position earlier on in this race, you know, they were able to hold their own with the cars on fresh tires. So now down to 11 to go here.
And number 4, Corey Rainey, back up in 4th.
He is charging hard. He did have a hard hit earlier on, but back into this one.
I'll tell you what, I think free drinks might be on the line just for how much he's been moving. He's been involved in a couple incidents, but man, he is laying down some quick times right now.
Yes, he is. And folks at the Wicked Pub, I'm going to need y'all to get on those cell phones and chime in and cheer on Corey Rainey here. He's putting that pressure on Tyler Hurt right now. And Corey Yoakum dropping back to
laps to go.
5th here. And while all this battling is going on back in the pack, Al Likens throwing caution to the wind here, opening up that gap over Trevor Quisenberry.
He's got to keep his composure in that gap at almost 7/10 right now. He's just, man, he's bringing that number 20 home 2 weeks in a row almost.
Well, he's already gotten the Vermont Diecast Pole Award, taking home the $5 for that. He would love to see another race win.
Al Likens, the Tyler Reddick of Viscera, confirmed. Might be too early to call that, but man, he is really showing out here.
Yes, he is, and he is driving a Toyota.
They're putting something extra in them. Can't confirm it, but man, super fast out there.
Yeah, something seems a little bit fishy. Not saying they're cheating, but
Al Likens has some grip hacks confirmed. Might have to take a look at his PC here after this one.
I'm pretty sure iRacing took all those guys out for the grip hacks about 3 years ago.
A little bit too late for that one, unfortunately, I guess.
Yep. And James Price saying the 24 has just turned it up. 4/10 the last lap here. Looking at the last lap times. And Critical saying if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
A good thing with iRacing, it is very difficult to cheat. I will say that. I don't think I've ever actually ran into a cheater on the service in my 5 years of being on the service. So
I tell you what, I've ran into one, and iRacing put a stop to that pretty early on. So Al Likens firmly in control of this, though. 0.7 of a second, down to 6 laps to go. Trevor Quisenberry running second. Tyler Hurt in third. And you see him down there trying to break up the draft off of each other.
doing some IndyCar maneuvers.
And that lead is dwindling just a little bit. Likens turning it back up.
That gap may dwindle, but the tough part about it is, would they be able to pass in the short amount of time they have? Because as these tires grow older, passing can be very difficult at Autoclub.
Yes, it can, and you see here, Likens faster than the top 3 at last time by. Now down to 4 to go. And Quisenberry closing in by about 1/10 of a second. With only 4 to go, he's going to have to use up everything he has left in that car. And looks like Likens going to be quicker this time by. Three laps left in this one, and we still can't rule out another caution bunching these guys back up.
Absolutely, that middle pack, they're going to start passing, being aggressive these last couple laps.
Yep, and looking back in the pack, most of these drivers do appear to be spread out here. But all it takes is one drive. Oh, and speaking of which, Tristan Haynes being shown slow on track.
Oh, no.
Looks like he was able to recover. He's gotten that car back going as we are down to 2 to go. Gonna try and jump back here, see what happened with Tristan Haynes.
Like a collision with the number 4, Corey Rainey.
And the groan from the Wicked Pub. Oh, Corey Rainey getting into the 14 car. So we are now down to 1 to go. The Enchanted Oaks RV Park white flag waving. Al Likens firmly in control of this. No pressure out the back for him.
Absolutely dominant performance all night. 2 races of 2 poles in a row, and as long as he can keep it together to these last 2 corners, 2 race wins in a row for the inaugural Vistra season.
And James Price saying 2 tires was the pit move as Al Lyken's going to take home the checkered flag 2 weeks in a row. And he is going to make his way to the TriStar Property Maintenance victory lane. Trevor Quisenberry coming home second. Tyler Hurt in third.
Al Lyken's also bringing home the Byrd Route's fastest lap of the night. I tell you what, he has some awesome paint schemes so far this season, but maybe he's going to cash in on that one and get a better one.
Check out birdwraps.com. So we try and get everyone lined up here for their interviews. And I tell you what, Al Lyken's teammates with those Wicked Pub guys, and I think the Wicked Pub family is probably hoping that he opts for a Wicked Pub paint scheme from Byrd Wraps Paint Schemes with these discounts he's receiving.
I tell you what, man, he is going home with some discounts today.
As they pull it around to the TriStar Property Maintenance victory lane.
Burn it down, Al.
It's like he heard you. He's going to start the celebration.
He did hear me. I unfortunately didn't mute the broadcast. And I went over race control.
Too many buttons for Hunter Geyer there.
Too many buttons. I have way too many buttons.
And he continues to celebrate. We're going to go ahead and get ready for our post-race interviews. It looks like Al Lyken's determined to blow that engine.
You just seen how much life he has left on those tires. It's all that is.
Yep, and we'll go ahead and kick off our interviews with our third place finisher, Tyler Hurt. Tyler, it's Austin and Hunter up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, I do.
All right, man. Congratulations on a podium finish here tonight. A good way to start the season here. Only second race in. How does it feel?
Considering the fact I had no expectations and came into this race sick and starting 21st, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, and it seems like I'm trying to find stuff to talk about in the interview, but it seems like you kind of came out of nowhere at the end of that race to get into the top three. Take us through what got you here.
Really, it was just the start of the race. I went like 21st to 12th in the first stage, and then from there, just pit strategy was like 5th in the final run before the last caution. Then final caution, gambled with only rights. Took only rights and jumped 3 cars and put myself second.
All right. Well, it definitely paid off. So we see now the sun has completely got down. Do you feel like the car came to you as the track went through the changes and cooled off?
Definitely when the sun was, it was the best when the sun had just set. And from there, the car came to life because I was struggling in practice. I mean, I qualified 21st on speed. That was the only lap I got to set, and only 29 people qualified. So I definitely, as the race went on and as being in the draft and having dirty air, honestly helped a lot too. just with my driving style.
All right. Well, definitely paid off. We're going to let you get on out of here and start that celebration and start looking forward to next week. Before we do, though, anyone you want to thank?
I want to thank the team. So Thomas, Storm, Daniel / Complicated, that's his name, and then also, of course, Daniel for sponsoring the Vermont Diecast for the fastest lap, and of course the car I'm driving. Then of course the general Florida Academy, My World of Whiskey, all of them who helped make this possible. Tyler Green, Holloway, and all that.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. Congratulations again, and we will see you back here next week.
Yep. See ya.
Thank you. All right. And once again, that was Tyler Hurt coming home third tonight. We're going to move on to our second place finisher, Trevor Quisenberry. Trevor, it's Austin and Hunter up in the booth. You got us?
Yep.
All right, man. Congratulations on a second place finish here tonight. We were watching you and your teammate on that last restart. I had my money actually on Corey Yoakum taking 4 tires on pit road last time. You only took 2, or I'm sorry, you took 4 tires as well. Did you think 2 or 4 tires was the move?
I really thought so because I feel like it always just got like really tight on the long run there. So I don't know. And then there at the end, I just didn't have any more for house. So I don't know if I just burn it up too much on the line selection or getting around people, but I definitely didn't have enough there at the end.
All right, and you restarted, if I'm not mistaken, it was 5th on that last restart. What was the key to putting that car in second place tonight?
Yeah, I really wanted to win, but at the same time, it was difficult enough getting around everybody. So I don't know. It was kind of, this track's really aero dependent, I would say. So kind of giving people air, but also keeping yours like safe in a way.
All right, and definitely saw the arrow here tonight. Everyone trying to break up the draft. It looked like some some IndyCar maneuvering there, but the real topic that everyone seemed concerned about at the beginning of this one was tires. How did your tires hold out throughout the race?
Not so well. It just kept getting tight and plowing, but like I said, that's really on your line selection and whoever you follow in the corner and how you just run on them.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We're going to let you get on out of here. Before we do, though, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, thanks to you guys. Florida Academy for the league sponsor. Corey Yoakum, On Point Casino. Me and Corey tried our best to get up here and win, but it didn't go too well. But we'll take a top 5. So yeah.
All right. Well, definitely going to be important in the points and getting some of that purse money tonight. So got to be proud of that second place finish. Congratulations again, and we will see you back here next week.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And once again, that was Trevor Quisenberry coming home second tonight. We're going to move on to our back-to-back winner, Al Likens. Al, it's Austin and Hunter up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. Congratulations on going back-to-back here. And I'm going to let Hunter list off all the awards you got tonight.
And I tell you what, you are going home with quite the trophy case, or quite the amount of discounts, I should say. 2 weeks in a row with the Vermont Diecast Pole Award. Now this week with Byrd Route's fastest lap, and of course a second win in a row for you. I just have to ask, man, how are you feeling the next couple races? Do you think you're going to be able to keep up this momentum?
I honestly don't know. It's the first time I've ever done this, so it's new to me, and I'm very humbled. And you got to stay humble, and just keep testing, and try to get faster every week.
All right, I don't know how much faster you can get. The fast laps you're laying down here. What was the key here tonight to getting this win? We saw you started from the pole, set the fastest lap, and then about middle of the race, you ended up back in the pack. What was the key getting through the traffic there?
Just be patiently aggressive and try not to get the car damaged, and try to pick them off one at a time. But once you get in traffic, man, it's tough to pass. I mean, you really got to be patient, hit your marks, and if it's meant to be, it'll work out. If not, this wasn't your day.
All right. Well, it looks like it was your day yet again. Could you feel a difference in the clean air once you got up front compared to when you were driving through the pack?
Oh yeah, definitely. Once I got out front, it's just I could save my tires more. Kept getting aero tight. You'd have to try to duck below or duck above, try to get some clean air to the nose. Oh yeah, out in the lead is definitely a difference maker.
All right. Well, it definitely paid off. We saw you opening up that gap. We were keeping an eye on Trevor Quisenberry. He was about equal with you in lap times. He even had a couple of faster ones. Were you getting worried as it was coming down to the end?
Honestly, I was, because I could see him in the rear mirror getting closer. But I said to myself, do not overdrive, do not make mistakes, and save your tires, because once he does catch you, maybe we can put on a heck of a battle. That was my mindset.
All right. Well, we would have loved to see that heck of a battle, but fortunately for you, no battle tonight. Utter dominance out of you, and back-to-back race winners, as well as all the other awards. We're going to let you get on out of here and start the celebration. Before we do, though, anyone you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Florida Academy and sponsor of the race, Byrd Raps 200, TriStar. I'd like to, obviously thank the league, the Virtual Intermission Sim Racing Association, all my teammates at Slightly Dangerous keeps pushing each other to make each other better every week. Then Red Pennington, I'd like to personally thank him.
All right.
And I got one more thing. I'd like to thank you all, the Rebel Racing Network, for all you do, and y'all do a great job.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. Congratulations again, and we'll let you get on down to the TriStar Property Maintenance Victory Lane. Congratulations, and we'll see you back here next week.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and once again, that was Al Likens bringing home back-to-back wins here. We're going to go ahead and run through our official results here. And once again, Al Likens takes home the win. Trevor Quisenberry finishes second. Tyler Hurt in third. Alan Hess will finish fourth. Corey Yoakum comes home fifth. Seth LaCroix will finish sixth. Dave Mayberry finishes seventh. Tyler A. Green comes home eighth. Nicholas Warner in ninth. Stephen Alesse finishes 10th. Corey Rainey in 11th. Madeline Jackson finishes 12th in her debut here tonight. Mike Hill will finish 13th. Dalton Gregson finishes 14th. Eric Rodeman in 15th. Storm Strube comes home 16th. Tristan Haynes in 17th. 18th was Eric L'Oreal. Coming home 19th will be Chet Sellers. Richard Smith finishes 20th. Daniel Holloway in 21st. Jason Orbesquez in 22nd. Dylan Picklesheimer will come home 23rd. Jeremiah Nelson in 24th. Dawson Price finishes 25th. Josh Edmonds in 26th. Thomas Lavierde comes home 27th. 28th was Brian Macklin. Finishing 29th was Joshua Riddle. Third, and rounding out your field in 30th was Trevor Yates. And once again, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Want to give a big thank you to our sponsors, Florida Academy, Enchanted Oaks RV Park, Vermont Diecast, My World of Whiskey, Byrd Wraps, TriStar Property Maintenance, and Ride Weights for being a part of this. Thank you guys for making this possible, and make sure you guys tune in next week. Once again, that is a Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll be live from Nashville Super Speedway next week. Before that, though, we do have a couple races here on the Rebel Racing Network. We do have a special edition charity race this Saturday being put on by the Apollo Advanced Legends League. It will be a late model race at Nashville Fairgrounds. It is the Adkins 125 in the late model stock cars. Make sure you tune in for that Saturday, July 11th at 9 p.m. And then Sunday, we'll be right back with ERA as they continue their chase for the Cup live from Kansas Speedway for 135 laps. Once again, that will be 8 o'clock on Sunday evening. Then TCR will be back on Wednesday with their All-Star race live from Motegi. Get the passports ready for that one, guys. But before you guys sign off tonight, please hit that like, follow, subscribe button, and we will see you back here on Saturday. Have a good night.